Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
It's good to be back.
Today, we're going to be going all the way back to the beginnings of Islam
Oh, wow.
to uncover this incredible story of a woman named Atika bint Zayd.
Oh?
Now, you might not have heard of her,
No, I don't think I have.
but trust me, her life was anything but ordinary.
Okay, I'm interested.
Atika possessed, incredible character, intellect, and faith, and her path intertwined with some of the most pivotal moments in early Islamic history.
Wow, that's quite the introduction.
Yeah, and her story offers this really unique window into the lives of women during that era.
Okay, so we're not just talking about her life then, but sort of
Yeah.
about what we can glean about.
It sheds light on their roles, the challenges they faced, and their remarkable resilience amidst a rapidly changing world.
Okay, I see.
And it all begins with her family. Atika's father, Zayd ibn Amr ibn Nufal,
Uh-huh.
was renowned for his unwavering belief in one God, even before the Prophet Muhammad received his revelations.
Wow, so he was like a Hanif.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, he was so respected for this belief that the Prophet Muhammad himself said Zayd would stand as an entire ummah, a whole nation, on the Day of Judgment.
Okay, so he was like really, really well respected
Oh,
for his piety and his belief in one God.
Yeah. You can imagine how this legacy of seeking truth deeply influenced Atika's life.
Makes sense.
It speaks volumes about Atika's upbringing.
Yeah.
She was raised on a foundation of seeking truth and standing firm in one's beliefs, a principle that would become central to Islamic thought.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now, Atika herself was celebrated for her beauty, eloquence, and her skills as a poet.
Oh, wow.
But she wasn't just a pretty face. She was deeply religious, devoted to worship, and admired for her intelligence and wisdom.
She was the whole package, as they say.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it.
Her life story is truly fascinating. It's a tapestry woven with threads of love, loss, and unwavering faith, all set against the backdrop of a world undergoing a profound transformation.
Sounds like we have a lot to talk about. We do. Let's dive into her marriages, because this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, let's hear it.
Atika was married 5 times,
Okay.
and remarkably, all 5 of her husbands achieved martyrdom.
Wow. All 5.
All 5.
Yeah.
People even started saying, if you want to be a shaheed, marry Atika.
Well, it's important to understand that this saying, while highlighting the extraordinary circumstances of her life, shouldn't be taken literally, right? It's more of a reflection of the awe and perhaps a touch of superstition people associated with her experiences.
Right, yeah. So husband number 1 was Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr,
Okay.
the son of the first caliph, Abu Bakr.
Right.
Apparently, Abdullah was head over heels for Atika, to the point that his love for her started to distract him from his religious duties.
Oh, so it was like that, huh?
Yeah. Sources describe Abdullah as being so deeply in love with Atika that it became a challenge for him to balance his personal life with his commitment to the growing Muslim community.
I see. So I guess his father maybe had to step in?
Yeah. And Abu Bakr, being the wise and pragmatic leader that he was, actually encouraged them to divorce so Abdullah could regain his focus.
That's a tough decision.
Yeah. This decision speaks volumes about Abu Bakr's priorities.
Right.
He recognized the importance of balancing personal attachments with communal responsibilities, especially during such a critical time for the nascent Muslim community.
Makes sense. You don't want to be distracted by these things.
Right. Even though they divorced, Abdullah never stopped loving Atika.
Oh.
He even poured his heart out in poetry, lamenting their separation.
Wow.
Sadly, he later died as a martyr during the siege of Taif.
The poetry attributed to Abdullah is incredibly moving.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even amidst major historical events, deeply personal stories of love, loss, and sacrifice unfold.
Absolutely. Then we have husband number 2,
Uh-huh.
Zayd ibn al-Khattab, Umar's brother.
Okay.
And this is where we encounter a fascinating twist of fate.
Okay, I'm listening.
Zayd's father, al-Khattab,
Uh-huh.
had actually persecuted Atika's father for his monotheistic beliefs.
Oh, wow.
And now, years later, their children were uniting through marriage.
This union is incredibly symbolic.
It is.
It demonstrates the transformative power of faith and forgiveness. Old enmities were being bridged, and a new community was emerging based on shared beliefs rather than past conflicts.
Yeah. Tragically, Zayd also died as a martyr, this time in the Battle of Al-Yamamah.
Oh, no.
This was a crucial battle during the Ridda Wars, a series of uprisings against the caliphate after the Prophet Muhammad's death.
Right, the Ridda Wars. These wars were a defining moment for the early Muslim community, testing their unity and resolve in the face of internal and external threats.
Exactly. So two husbands, both martyrs. And then comes perhaps the most well-known of Atika's husbands, Umar ibn al-Khattab himself, the second caliph.
Now, it's important to remember that Umar was known for his strong sense of justice and piety.
He was.
He was a leader deeply concerned for the welfare of his people, and his life, like Atika's, was interwoven with moments of great triumph and profound tragedy.
Exactly.
It's going to be interesting to unpack this one.
Yep.
I'm fascinated.
This is a good one. Okay, so we left off with Atika about to marry Umar ibn al-Khattab, a man known for his justice and piety.
Right.
What's really interesting is that Atika actually hesitated to marry him.
Oh, why is that?
Well, she had actually taken an oath not to remarry after the death of her second husband.
I see. So it was more like a personal thing
Yep.
rather than anything to do with Umar himself.
Exactly. It reveals how societal norms and personal oaths held significant weight,
Right.
even for someone of Atika's standing. It also speaks to her strong sense of personal conviction.
Yeah, I see.
But Aisha, the Prophet Muhammad's wife,
Okay.
stepped in and counseled Atika,
Wow.
helping her see that remarrying was permissible.
I mean, it's Aisha, so...
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder how Atika felt receiving advice from such an influential figure in the early Muslim community.
Yeah, that's a good point. Aisha's role here is significant. I mean, she was one of the most influential women in the early community.
Oh, yeah.
It shows the influence and respect women held within the community, particularly when it came to matters of personal and spiritual guidance.
Exactly. So Atika and Umar were married,
Okay.
and their marriage is full of interesting anecdotes that give us glimpses into their personalities.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Well, there's the one where Umar was distributing fabric amongst the people
Uh-huh.
and accidentally gave Atika a larger share.
Oops.
Right. But Umar, true to his character, immediately corrected the mistake.
He had to.
Yeah, it demonstrated his commitment to fairness, even within his own household.
So he's practicing what he preaches.
Exactly. It really shows how deeply he valued justice and equality.
Oh, I mean, he was known for that, right? It also highlights his efforts to lead by example, embodying Islamic principles not just in his public life, but also in his personal interactions.
Right. And then there's the story about Umar getting a bit jealous over Atika's dedication to attending the mosque.
Oh, interesting.
Some accounts portray Umar as a caring husband who, while deeply respecting Atika's piety, also expressed concern for her safety, especially when she would travel to the mosque at night.
Yeah, that makes you wonder what societal anxieties might have existed at the time surrounding women's growing public presence.
That's an interesting point.
While Umar clearly respected Atika's right to worship, his concerns might also reflect the broader societal context. It's a topic worth exploring further, maybe even in another deep dive.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sadly, as we know, Umar was assassinated,
Yeah.
making him the third of Atika's husbands to die as a martyr. You have to imagine the emotional toll of experiencing such repeated loss.
It's heartbreaking to contemplate.
It is.
But amidst this tragedy, Atika's story also shines a light on the power of poetry as a means of expression and solace during that era.
Oh, right. You mentioned earlier that we talk about Atika's poetry.
Yeah.
I'm curious, did she write any poems that have survived?
Unfortunately, only fragments of her work remain. But even those snippets offer us a fascinating glimpse into her thoughts and emotions.
Okay.
For example, after Umar's assassination, Atika wrote a beautiful elegy expressing her profound grief and praising his leadership.
It must have been a deeply cathartic experience to pour her grief and admiration into poetry.
Absolutely. And through her poetry, we can see how Atika found solace in her faith and in the belief that her husbands had achieved a high honor in the eyes of God.
It's inspiring how she navigated such immense loss with grace and strength, finding meaning amidst profound sorrow.
Her story reminds us that resilience and faith can be sources of immense comfort even in the darkest of times, and poetry can be a powerful channel for processing such experiences.
Speaking of finding meaning, I'm curious about the saying that circulated about Atika.
Oh yeah, the "if you want to be a shaheed" one.
Yeah. Do you think people genuinely believe she had some kind of mystical connection to martyrdom?
It's hard to say for sure what people truly believed, but it's more likely that this saying, while based on the extraordinary circumstances of her life, was a way of expressing their awe and perhaps a touch of superstition.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting to consider how Atika herself might have felt about such a saying.
I mean, yeah.
After experiencing so much loss, she might have found it unsettling or even hurtful.
It's certainly possible. But unfortunately, the historical sources don't offer much insight into her personal thoughts on the matter.
So we have these tantalizing glimpses into Atika's inner world through her poetry and the stories surrounding her marriages.
Right.
But we're left wanting to know more.
That's the nature of studying history, isn't it?
Yeah,
We piece together fragments of information, always aware that there are gaps in our knowledge, voices that have been lost to time.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But even with these fragments, we can start to build a picture of who Atika was and the impact she had on those around her.
And it's important to remember that Atika's life wasn't solely defined by her marriages, even though they were a significant part of her story.
Yeah, for sure.
She was an intelligent, pious woman, a skilled poet, and a respected member of the community. And her story also sheds light on the evolving role of women in early Islamic society.
Exactly. It shows that women were actively engaged in the community, participating in religious life, expressing their opinions, and influencing decisions. Atika's life challenges the stereotypical image of women being confined to the domestic sphere.
It does, and it's remarkable to consider how much she experienced and witnessed during her lifetime.
It is.
She lived through a period of incredible change and upheaval, from the early days of Islam to the expansion of the caliphate. She saw empires rise and fall, experienced both great joy and profound sorrow, and navigated the complexities of a rapidly evolving society.
Speaking of navigating complexities, let's move on to Atika's fourth husband, Az-Zubair ibn al-Awwam, one of the 10 companions promised paradise by the Prophet Muhammad.
Wow.
He was a strong and respected figure, much like Umar.
Yeah, Azubair was known for his bravery and military prowess. He played a significant role in many early Islamic conquests and was instrumental in the expansion of the caliphate.
He was. And, tragically, you guessed it, he was also martyred.
Oh no, not another one.
Yeah, this time during the Battle of the Camel.
Right, the Battle of the Camel. This battle, which took place during the First Fitna, a period of intense civil war within the Muslim community, had a profound impact on Atika's life. Imagine the turmoil and uncertainty of living through such a conflict, especially after already losing 3 husbands to war and assassination.
I know, it's a testament to her resilience that she continued to find love and meaning in her life, even in the face of such repeated loss.
It really is.
And her choice of husbands speaks volumes about her character.
Yeah, for sure.
Each of them was a prominent figure in the early Muslim community, known for their piety, courage, and commitment to the faith.
You're right. It suggests that Atika was drawn to men of strong moral character and deep faith. It also highlights her own high standing within the community.
Now, after Az-Zubair's death, Atika married her 5th and final husband, Al-Hussein ibn Ali.
Al-Hussein was the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, a figure revered by Muslims throughout history.
Yeah.
His lineage and his commitment to justice made him a central figure in the ongoing struggles within the Muslim community.
Right. This marriage is particularly significant because it underscores the high regard Atika held within the Muslim community.
Yeah.
To be chosen as the wife of the Prophet's grandson is a testament to her character and piety.
I mean, yeah. It's also a reminder of the interconnectedness of lives and destinies, how personal choices and relationships can intersect with major historical events.
And it speaks to the enduring legacy of Atika's father, Zayd ibn Amr ibn Nufail, and his search for truth. You can see how this legacy of seeking knowledge, so central to Islamic tradition, was already present in Atika's upbringing.
Yeah, it all ties together.
It's no wonder she became known for her intelligence and wisdom, and that she chose to build her life with men who embodied those same values.
It's a beautiful observation. The threads of family history, personal conviction, and historical events are all interwoven in Atika's story.
Sadly, Atika died before witnessing the tragic martyrdom of Al-Hussein in the Battle of Karbala, an event that would have profound implications for the future of Islam.
I mean, she'd already been through so much.
I know.
Her death before this pivotal event spared her from witnessing yet another profound loss, but it also serves as a reminder of the constant presence of mortality in a world marked by conflict and uncertainty.
So we've explored Atika's lineage, her poetry, her marriages to these incredible figures, and her connection to key historical events like the Ridda Wars, the First Fitna, and the evolving landscape of the early Islamic world.
Yeah, we have. We've seen her strength, her resilience, her piety, and her intellectual curiosity. And through her story, we've gained a richer understanding of the complexities of early Islamic society and the roles that women played within it.
But there's still one fascinating aspect of her life that we haven't fully explored yet. The Shaheed connection. The fact that all 5 of Atika's husbands achieved martyrdom.
Yeah, that's something that we definitely need to unpack a bit.
It's a detail that continues to intrigue and captivate, prompting us to ponder the nature of fate, destiny, and the role of individual choices in shaping a life as extraordinary as Atika's.
Absolutely. So let's jump into it.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the remarkable life of Atika Bint Zayd.
It's good to be back.
We've journeyed through her family history, explored her poetry, and traced her connections to some of the most influential figures in early Islam.
We have.
But there's one final thread we need to unravel,
Okay.
the Shaheed connection.
Right.
The extraordinary fact that all 5 of Atika's husbands achieved martyrdom.
I mean, it's definitely one of the most interesting aspects of her story,
It is.
and one that makes you really think about fate and destiny.
Right. You know, when you hear about all 5 husbands meeting such a fate,
Yeah.
it almost sounds like something out of a legend.
It does make you wonder
It does.
if there was something, more to it.
Right, yeah.
But it's important to remember that Atika lived during a period of intense conflict and upheaval.
Right, yeah.
The early Muslim community faced numerous challenges, from internal disputes and power struggles to external threats from those who opposed the rise of Islam.
So her husband's deaths weren't just random occurrences,
No.
but a reflection of the turbulent times they lived in.
Precisely. Men like Abdullah, Zayd, Umar, Az-Zubair, and Al-Hussein
Right.
were deeply involved in the political and military landscape of the early Islamic world.
Yeah.
Their commitment to the faith and their leadership roles placed them directly in the path of danger.
It makes you think about how Atika must have navigated the emotional complexities of living in such a volatile world,
I mean, for sure.
constantly facing the possibility of loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. It speaks volumes about her strength and resilience that she continued to find love and meaning in her life even as she experienced such profound and repeated grief.
I mean, her story reminds us that even amidst chaos and uncertainty, the human spirit can endure finding solace in faith, family, and community.
But some people might still wonder if there was something more to this Shaheed connection.
Yeah, like, was it just a historical coincidence? Or could there be some deeper meaning?
Right.
It's tempting to search for profound significance in such extraordinary circumstances,
Yeah.
to see it as a sign of divine favor or some mystical force at work.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to get carried away.
It is, but as we delve into history, it's crucial to approach such questions with a balanced perspective.
So you're saying we should acknowledge the unique nature of her story without getting carried away by speculation or romanticizing the past.
Exactly. Our goal is to understand Atika's life within its historical context,
Yeah.
appreciating both its uniqueness and its connection to the broader trends and forces shaping the world around her.
So how should we interpret this aspect of her story? What can we learn from it?
I think it serves as a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of lives and the ripple effects of historical events.
Right.
Atika's personal journey, though exceptional, was deeply intertwined with the fate of the early Muslim community.
Right, so her husband's deaths weren't isolated incidents, but part of a larger narrative of struggle, sacrifice, and the establishment of a new social and political order.
Precisely. And by exploring Atika's life, we gain a more intimate understanding of the human cost of those struggles, the sacrifices made by individuals and families caught in the currents of history.
It also highlights the often overlooked role of women in those struggles.
Yes, absolutely.
While their contributions may not always be explicitly recorded in historical texts,
Yeah.
their experiences provide valuable insights into the social fabric of the time.
Atika's story reminds us that women were not merely passive bystanders, but active participants in shaping their communities, even amidst the turbulence of war and political upheaval.
Right.
They endured loss, raised families, and provided emotional and spiritual support, contributing to the resilience and growth of the early Muslim community.
Her life is a testament to the strength and adaptability of women in the face of extraordinary challenges.
And it challenges us to think critically about how history is recorded and whose voices are amplified. By delving into the lives of individuals like Atika, we broaden our understanding of the past, moving beyond the dominant narratives to uncover the rich tapestry of human experiences that shaped our world.
So, as we conclude our deep dive into the extraordinary life of Atika Bint Zayd, what are the key takeaways we should carry with us?
Well, first and foremost, her story reminds us that history is not just a collection of names, dates, and battles, but a vibrant tapestry woven from the lives of individuals, each with their own unique perspectives and experiences.
Right. We've seen how Atika's life, though intertwined with major historical figures and events, had its own rhythm and flow marked by love, loss resilience, and an unwavering commitment to her faith.
Her story prompts us to look beyond the surface of historical events, to consider the personal stories, the emotional landscapes, and the everyday experiences of those who lived through those times.
And it encourages us to seek out the voices that are often marginalized or overlooked, recognizing the contributions of women, families, and communities in shaping the course of history.
Atika's life, with its extraordinary Shaheed connection, reminds us of the interconnectedness of destinies, the ripple effects of choices and actions, and the enduring power of the human spirit to find meaning and purpose even in the face of adversity.
Her story serves as an invitation to delve deeper into the rich tapestry of history, to uncover the countless untold stories that await us, and to discover the profound connections that bind us to the past and shape our understanding of the present.
So, as you continue exploring the world around you, dear listener, remember Atika bin Zayd. Let her story inspire you to seek out the hidden narratives, to question the dominant perspectives, and to appreciate the profound impact that individual lives can have on the course of history.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.